that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Minnesota Vikings. Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. On play action, Cousins. They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Andrew Booth picks it off, and the Browns are going to take possession of the football.
Wow, just one snap in, partner, and the complexion of this game has already changed because for the defensive side, they just handed their offense a short field and a big early advantage. And even though it's only the first snap of the game, we're going to look back on this one and see if it has lasting effects as this game moves on.
On first down, they'll run with Nwangwu. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. From the 17, Watson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There's a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
Straight ahead, here's Nwangwu. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one where you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Well, this defense for the Browns, much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
On 2nd and 12, Cousins. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Only a few inches needed on the sneak. He didn't get it, and now it's 4th down. They'll indeed go for it. It's Cousins. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Finding space at the 40. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Cousins. That one complete down the field to Smith. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive. Come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to two people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
From the red zone now, Cousins. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Cousins. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. 2nd and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. That is caught by Thielen. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a sharp throw right there on 3rd down. They're looking to get the first points of the game, and they certainly don't want to be on a field goal. So that's a nice job to get the hook up and set up a 1st and goal.
They'll run with Cook, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On 2nd and goal, Cousins. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Chris Godwin. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Browns drive about to get started. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
To try again after the sack. Watson. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back. But now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
And he's brought down short by a yard. It's a 3rd down gain of 4. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The center receiver in motion to the left. On fourth down, Watson. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. Nwangu going to get it on the counter. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, second down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now it's Watson. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He'll get this complete to Jalen Reagor. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 42. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. On 1st down, it's Watson. And he will find his man Schwartz. That's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 23 yards on the play.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
From the red zone now, Watson. And his throw is incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Watson looks to throw again. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Anthony Schwartz, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Browns are an extra point away from evening this one up. Extra point by York is up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
On 2nd and 7, Cousins. Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. And they work this well upfield across the 45. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a first down.
I'll give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Irv Smith Jr., 53 yards. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Browns drive about to get started. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game. He's going to loft it, deep right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
To throw again on second down. Watson. This is the tight end, Njoku. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Back to throw. Watson. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Matt Judon drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down. And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. "62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's got room. Touchdown, Vikings! Dalvin Cook, his first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Browns drive about to get started. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Off of play action, it's Watson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 23 yards the pickup there.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Watson's throw pulled in by Schwartz. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Watson. And he floated one out there, incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Watson. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Again, it's Watson. Got a man. It's Schwartz, complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive. And once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
On 2nd and 7, Watson. And it's caught. Touchdown. Kene Nwangu. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Browns get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by York is up and good. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2nd down, they go right back to Cook. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now a timeout called for by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Cousins. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Cousins. Airing it out deep for Smith. It got his man, complete. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Cousins. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And the Browns will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
The Browns drive about to get started. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. Escape. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he brings it back. Can you believe it? An offensive disaster on the final play of the first half.
They just had to hold on to the ball.
Huge play for the defense. What a turn of events. They get the fumble return for a touchdown, the last play of the first half.
And how about the defense providing a score, amping up not just themselves, but the entire team as they head into the locker room.
And does that change the locker room speech at half?
There shouldn't be much of a speech necessary now. They've got things going their way.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Browns going to see the football first, but they trail here as we resume play on EA Sports. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a first down. Here's Watson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5. Up the middle, Nwangu. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. The stop made there by Chandon Sullivan.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Now a throw here, hauled in. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Got an open man, it's Schwartz. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. Watson, off play action. Flushed out right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room.
He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
Now Watson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Scotty Miller, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Browns have got it back to within a score. Extra point by York is up and good. And they're within 7 now at 28-21. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Cousins now. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back, because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. 3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. To throw is Watson. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Cousins. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Cousins to throw it. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the first. 3rd and 4, he did just enough. I mean, just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Throwing is Cousins. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Cousins. Got an open man finding Jefferson. Touchdown, Vikings! Justin Jefferson, 63 yards. And the Vikings are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now up to 14. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
On the give is Nwangu. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
From the 44, Watson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Browns. Kene Nwangu with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Browns have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Extra point by York is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. And Charles, this infraction's going to be against the offense. False start.
Sometimes you have to get up to the line of scrimmage, make sure your team is set before you begin your cadence.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. To throw, Cousins. Throwing for Smith on the out route, and it's caught. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. To throw again on second down. Cousins. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Throwing, Cousins. That's a quick slant. He finds Adam Thielen. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
They run the counter with Cook. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. Over the middle to Smith. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 41-yard line. That'll put him up over 160 yards receiving now for the game. They can't seem to stop it.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on first and second downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And some room to work. Past the 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 87 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They run again on first down. Cook. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. This defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. To throw is Cousins. Touchdown, Vikings! Johnny Munt, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Vikings have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this fourth quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now up to 14. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Browns drive about to get started. As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. Watson to Njoku there for the Cleveland first. Here's Watson. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 41. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook. And some room to maneuver. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 112 yards rushing now for Cook, and this is a first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing here, Cousins. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Now a timeout called for by the defense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. From the 5, here's 2nd and 2. Now Cousins. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Cousins. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
And his kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You'd have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And he will find his man Schwartz. That's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
That'll be complete to the running back, Nwangu. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. One last throw here for Watson. And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot
there. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play. But still,